So Rowan, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing absolutely amazing, bro. And thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Bro, man, like, we've known each other for a while now.
It's
This is overdue.
yeah, it's. I was about to say it's been a while since we've seen each other with the whole pandemic and everything. We've been to some interesting, life journeys recently.
It's true, man. It's true. How is business for you during this time? Is it still okay?
You know what? You'll be surprised because I think business for me, I was the most successful in pandemic than before. Just because what happened, it all started with something unexpected, for example. So long story short, to kind of go into it, I obviously I was doing my Instagram and all that, as we do, the influencers work, and then a lot of brands they back down because obviously, a lot of people went bankrupt and all that stuff. So it wasn't much work coming. So, I was indoors, wasn't really we wasn't allowed to go out, so I couldn't take my content and stuff like that. And at some point I was doing a lot of content indoors, but I'm like, what can I do something else, not to just stay indoors and watch Netflix all day? So I came with this idea. It's like, okay, cool, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and create some home workouts for people who, the gyms were closed and stuff like that. So I created a few home workouts, and then they actually went viral on the YouTube. So I managed to grow a channel from literally from pretty much zero subscribers to over 1 million in less than 1 year.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
because the home workouts, yeah. So I was actually in shock because I was just creating content and putting it out there, and I can see like, oh my god, it's going viral, viral, viral. And then when the YouTube goes viral, a video on YouTube goes viral, then your subscribers goes up. So yeah, I've been helping a lot of people around the world to lose weight with my home workouts. And one of the biggest videos is now over 24 or 25 million views.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So it's been good for me. It's
Congrats.
been good with the YouTube. Yeah, luckily.
That's amazing, bro. Because
Um,
just as an introduction to yourself, you're a content creator, social media influencer. You got 1.44 million followers on YouTube, and can't remember Instagram 1.2.
1.4 as well, actually. Yeah,
1.4 as well.
yeah.
Okay. And 106,000 on Facebook. And I'm not too sure on Twitter. Um, Numbers are
There's
a
a lot
little
of
lower.
social platforms these days, isn't it, Roger?
I'm saying, man,
You remember
are
when
you
we
on?
started? It was only Facebook
I
when we
know.
met. Yeah. Well, oh,
Exactly.
what's your Facebook, bro?
Yeah. People are, oh, are you on Instagram? I'm like, I ain't got time for that. What do you mean? Now.
Yeah.
We got TikTok now. Are you on TikTok at
Yeah,
all?
I'm on TikTok as well, and I should push it more harder because what happened? Obviously, I started in a pandemic when
Mhm.
everyone was on and making all these funny videos, and then because my YouTube went viral, I was more focused on Instagram and YouTube, so I kind of left TikTok on the side. But now I kind of want to get back on a TikTok platform because it's getting big. It's just like not really for me, but I could create some sort of content that actually match my lifestyle on TikTok as well.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of a teenager platform.
You definitely need to be very creative and have a lot of
Yeah,
energy for that, in order for people
exactly.
to gravitate to it. You got good
And
energy
then
though.
thank you, brother. So as you. And then
Oh,
talking
bless
about
you.
TikTok, because otherwise I forget my idea. Talking about TikTok, I realized in the past few months that Instagram slowed down complete engagement because I see people who makes Instagram reels, they grow quicker, and I
Oh,
keep
right.
an eye to few of the people on in the industry, and then I see once they make the reels in the past few months they've been growing like crazy. My Instagram's been slowed down recently because I haven't made much reels, so I'm starting to get into reels as well.
Right. You know what? Like Reels, for some reason, was removed from my Instagram page.
There's a lot of people said that. It's not only you. I have a lot of friends that said the same thing.
Well, why?
I
Do you
think there
know a
was an
reason
issue
why?
with a platform or something.
Hmm. Yeah. But
Because
yeah.
but usually those people had the issue if they travel to another country. So I remember I was on business trip recently to Maldives, and my friend didn't have wheels in Maldives. And I was like, oh shit, I still got mine. So it's strange though, if you travel and stuff, there's certain countries that have different rules.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, you know, you're a massive success right now. I've seen other lifestyle type of influencers like really look up to you, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I'm like, this is great, you know, because I've watched Rowan when he was a baby.
I know. Oh
You
my
know what I'm
God.
saying? Like, you know, from the very beginning, before there was all this madness with social media, and it's a really beautiful thing to see, you know. But it hasn't always been that way for you, obviously. I mean, we can go in a time when we met, but even before then, obviously, you haven't lived in UK all your life. You're from
Yeah.
Romania, hence
Yeah,
the
that's right. Yeah.
beautiful accent that you have. Um, so how's the story? Like, when did you come over to UK? When did you think, "Do you know what? I want to start a life in UK." How was it for you?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for the kind words, bro. With all the success, there's still a far way to go in my head, you know. So, but yeah, everything started with basically I was doing all right for myself in Romania because I was doing three different jobs. So I was working I was a professional athlete. I was a runner. So I was being paid from the Athletics Romanian Federation. And then I was also a hairdresser because I find a passion for cutting people's hair and styling their hair. So I was a hairdresser. I was having my business at home. My dad gave me one of the bedrooms. We had a 3-bedroom apartment, so he gave me one of the bedrooms to have my business there as a hairdresser. And then I was also working as a dancer, and that's where I met you at the audition in London
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
came. Yeah. So what I wanted, obviously, I was 21 when I moved to UK, and it's obviously straight to London. And obviously, in my head, I was happy in Romania. I was, starting from zero with small jobs, and then I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm 21. I have three different sources of income. It's great, but looking, trying to look further. Okay, I have different goals. So if I stay on these jobs 10 years from now, I'll still be here. So I wanted to go to a place where it's like, we're talking about London, we're talking about New York, like, places like this, where it's a lot of, entrepreneurs, young uh, community that comes with different ideas every time. So basically, I always love the challenge in life.
Hmm.
So if I'm in a room sitting with people and I feel like I'm the smartest one, I think I'm in the wrong room.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
how I think. So in my head, I was like, okay, cool, Romania is great, blah blah. But it's you know, I for example, I don't want to be the best hairdresser or dancer in my city. I want to be probably the best hairdresser or dancer in London. It's
Right.
London.
Mm.
So it's everything you start doing, you meet some of the best people in the world that's in one city. And then that's why I picked London. I would have originally go to US, but obviously it would be hard with visa as an Eastern European and all this.
Right.
But UK back then was part of, Union European and all this. So it's much easier for me to make the transition and come to London. And then
Awesome.
it was obviously difficult because I couldn't speak the language. I didn't know the culture. Obviously, the hardest part is not, for me, it wasn't speaking the language. The hardest part is learning the culture. Because, for example, Roger, let's say I'm going on a date with a girl in UK, right? So, okay, you speak a bit of English, but then can you make the girl laugh? It's different jokes, different.
Mhm.
So that's why I found it really hard for me to understand the culture. And once you understand the culture, it's much more easier, the lifestyle here. But yeah, so that's what made me come. Just wanted to, explore more parts of myself, what else I can do in the future, and meet some really, like, let's say, interesting people and focus people towards what they do.
That's awesome. Would you still consider going to US, or do you think you're settled
Well,
and
I
happy?
I'm really happy here, but of course, I've been traveling recently quite a lot. So every time I travel, I realize how much I miss London.
Right.
And I do love, I think it's in terms of like, you know, economy, jobs and everything, I think UK is a great country compared to so many countries out there. Obviously, I can't say much about US because I've never been, but I know US is still a big an amazing like country to start something if you want to make a business or anything, really.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. So now in UK, and you've taken some of your skills with you. And it's funny you mentioned dancer because yeah, I met you at an audition because I thought, I think for me personally, I had shortly won a few titles, like modeling titles. One called Mr. UK, another one was called Mr. Britannia, and I was looking for other opportunities. And I saw this advert for a dancer, and I thought, do you know what? I
Yeah,
can dance in the clubs. And that was when I met you. I just saw this cute young guy just doing some stretches. I was like, wow, look at this dude over here.
I still remember now when I saw it, I was like, Jesus Christ, the guy's physique is unreal. I remember Kevin, bro, I never see anything like that. Like, and even obviously when I was going, I remember when I started doing fitness competitions, like, you know, you did so many of them. I was like, I was checking so many of your videos on YouTube to see how you pose and all that. I was like, this guy is just got it just on point. So yeah, obviously you were a massive inspiration for me from that perspective as well. I was like, it's just the transitions and everything. Like, there's so many people look good, but not many people can actually show what they got. And that's
Oh,
why I was like, oh my God, like Roger's sick, man. I still remember now the video from WBFF when you went and you just literally few poses killed in nailed it, win it. I'm like, that's how you done. I get myself in, I get myself out.
that's it, man. Collect the
Yeah,
trophies.
man.
Thank you, everyone.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you done some great stuff on the stage as well. I know you'd done, I know Miami
A
Pro.
few Miami Pros with Pure Elite. I actually did WBFF, but obviously I was too skinny. So I had to pull more. Yeah, that was always my problem. Was always lean, but always a bit too skinny. Yeah,
I think
always
it's
had a problem to pull muscle on.
that's not too bad, man. Like same time, you don't put on any fat. Like you've always
Well,
been.
I'm happy now, being now being now in my 30s. You know, I still look at my physique. I'm like, it's great because I can still have the pizza and everything, and my body is still the same.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Seriously, like I've admired the way you've just somehow recreated yourself. Like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you know, but your body has always remained in shape. There's never been an off season. Ooh, what's happened here? We are back.
Perfect. Literally just kicked me out.
It happens. It happens. There's been a few times when I'm talking and the internet is really bad and just cuts everything out. So I was just complimenting the way you've been able to transition from one to another really smoothly, you know, and have always looked great during all that time.
Thank you, bro.
So I saw you slowly started to move into content creation. I remember that. You was posting these really cool photos, and what was the early camera that you had? It's probably an Olympus or something like that. Do you remember what the early
I
camera?
think my very first proper camera actually wasn't Olympus, was a Nikon.
A Nikon.
Yeah, it was a Nikon. Yeah. I remember a lot of content creators, they have that Olympus you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone had that one. I literally everyone in the industry had that Olympus pen.
Yeah. And you had a certain look to your images. I think it was just slightly overexposed. I think that was the
Oh
style
yeah,
back then.
that clean feed. Exactly. Yeah.
Loved it. And I remember coming to you like, hey, bro, like loving what you're doing. I need some tips. And you was like, you know, telling me exactly. And to be honest, I always had my camera on automatic. Like I never used manual. I was scared. And
Yeah,
it was you.
manual is the best. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
If you know how to, you know, use and stuff, it's you can get some great content on manual.
yes. So when did you discover social media and thought, do you know what? Content creation. Let's do this. Like how did that start for you?
Well, I think obviously as we both know from fitness industry and back in the days with the body power and all that, we were creating, you know, a lot of fitness content. And then kind of the transition from fitness into fashion, it was in my head was like, okay, cool. I just wanted to bring more than just a nice polished physique to the public. So I wanted, my idea was to create a massive male audience, to kind of give them that idea how to dress, but at the same time how to stay in a good shape all year round. So that's the transition. I was like, okay, cool. Let me not just post just like, you know, fitness shots and training stuff. Let me kind of put some fashion there, and as simple as possible so everyone can pull off different looks. And I wanted to be that sort of gentleman that brings, you know, not just street style and denim and stuff. I wanted to bring some formal as well, so guys can get ideas how to dress everywhere they go, like either it's a date or like cinema or, you know, wedding or anywhere, so that they get ideas how to dress, and, you know, at the same time how to keep up with a nice physique, and also the grooming side of it, hair, beard, and all this. Just have that modern gentleman look. So yeah, I remember back in 2015, it was, yeah, towards end of 2015. I just was starting posting more outfits, and I seen they starting doing really well, and a lot of different fashion pages from around the world, they starting sharing my content on their Instagram accounts. And then that's where I actually started to grow my Instagram channel. And I was like, it was all a passion of mine. And then I see brands approaching me, oh, how much you charge per post? And I'm like, sorry, what? It's crazy how it changes. I was like, obviously back then it wasn't like it is now. And when I realized that, you know, I could make a decent income from my hobby, I was like, oh shit, let me just like put some more focus into this, because it's actually real. And it's not just me being passionate and trying to, you know, show guys different variation how to dress. It actually becomes a full-time business for me. And then, you know, I got to the point where I had to leave my previous job, and I started Instagram full-time. And then I remember after a couple of weeks or so, everything went down the line because my account was hacked. So I basically I had no job, and then my account was hacked as well. So yeah, and
I
then in
remember
my
that
head,
bit just
it
quickly.
was,
It was,
yeah,
you had about
almost
107.
two, almost, yeah, almost 200,000, almost 200,000, yeah.
Bro.
So it
Yeah.
was, but you know what, Roger, looking back now, I'm laughing because I realized so many things when it happened, and not just like business wise, friendship wise as well. Because I had, you know, certain individuals around me taking pictures with me 3 times a week, right? And then after my account was hacked, these certain individuals, they pretend and, you know, they didn't have time for me anymore. Yeah, so that's another thing where I realized, wow, these people actually hang around with me because I actually take cool pictures. They get good pictures, and then they get growth as well because I'm all the time with them, and then I share them on my account and all this stuff. And then after that, I was actually completely shocked. And, you know, instead of becoming a victim, I took control. So I was like, you know what? In my head, I was like, I'm gonna fly all over the asses again. So I just started a new account, and I just been very positive and very, you know, put a lot of focus and hard work towards it. Obviously I had to take another job on the side because, you know, I had to make money to survive and to pay the bills. So I remember at the time I took a job as a personal trainer, and I loved the job. It was great. I was enjoying myself, but obviously between the clients and early morning before I go to work, I always take time to create some content for my Instagram. So that's what I'm trying to say. And obviously for the listeners as well, because there's a lot of people who hate their jobs. So I always say, try to, you know, after hours to try to find a passion for yourself, because that passion might become a full-time job in the future. And then, you know, you, it's just good when you do something that you love from the bottom of your heart. Because I have, you know, and you probably know a lot of people, they wake up doing 9 to 5, which is nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 if you love your job. But there's people, they're like, oh God, it's like, thanks God it's Friday. And people like us will be like, thanks God it's Monday.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
always say, yeah, yeah. So that's the sort of mindset you have to have. So yeah, of course, it was hard. My Instagram was gone. Wake up the next day, no income, no nothing, and I was like, it was really really hard. But hard days, never forgetting the hard days always works with me, and even now keeps me going.
Mm.
And the most important thing is when you're down there, that's the most important thing, how you think when you're down there, rather than, oh my god, everything is going great now, I have this type of source of income, I'm unstoppable. That's not you unstoppable when you're down there and you have nothing and you're like, what's next, what am I doing now with my life? So then you're trying to, take time with yourself and figure out what's the next step.
Wow, that's powerful, you know. I know I've reached certain points in my life like that, but what I do like is the eye opener of like who are the real friends as well.
Yeah,
You know?
that was a shock for me. I was like, I can't believe. And then even now I realize in many, because I go to events and sometimes, and there's certain individuals, influencers, that they only will hang around with people bigger than them or at their level. And which, the way I see it, for me, I don't hang around with you because your number of following. I hang around with you because you make me inspired with something. So I don't care at what stage you are in life. All I care is, like, I look at you, I was like, that person it gives me something that inspires me. I don't care their status. That's how I judge people. Because a lot of
Yeah.
people will be like, I go to events and I'm having a normal conversation with someone, right? And I can see they just like talking to me like, just, yeah, mate, yeah. And then when they find out about my social media, oh my God, you have blue tick. Oh my God, you have 1 point something. You know what I mean? Let's just see the faces change, and you realize, why can you just not be, just talk like, like I'm no one, or something like that.
I hear that. I
Because
hear
a
that,
lot of people, yeah, they change once they see your numbers and stuff like that, which is, it's fucking sad.
bro. I feel you.
Yeah, and I
Sometimes
know you've been through
mm,
these situations as well. So
it's tough. Like
yeah,
sometimes you don't want to talk about social media at all.
yeah,
They're like,
yeah,
"Oh, are you on social media?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, you know."
yeah,
Sometimes I'm like,
yeah,
I kind of
yeah,
use it.
yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly, because they change their faces and stuff, like,
Yeah, yeah. Too much liquor. So I'm not. I'm. It's
yeah, yeah, exactly,
you just
exactly, it's
don't know if
crazy.
they genuinely like you. Like, do you actually?
Yeah,
That's tough.
yeah,
And you
it
must get
is,
that a
yeah.
lot. So you get the opportunity to work with so many cool brands. What would you say is? I'm guessing you probably couldn't name the top ones, but could you name a few amazing
I
experiences that?
think one of my favorite brands I've been working with ongoing, and I always wanted to work with them, I think will be Sony.
Oh,
So
right.
I've been working with Sony, like the cameras, their home systems, like music and stuff like that. Recently, recently, it was just before Christmas, I did a really cool campaign for them, which was probably one of my favorite campaigns. I mean, one of my, let's say, when it comes to tech. I
Mhm.
did. I had to promote their new. Basically, they released the PS5, and then
Okay.
with the PS5 they released this new Bravia TV, 65-inch. So that was a really cool campaign, because obviously when I was young I used to be a gamer, so I was like, wow, Sony wants me to do the campaign for
Come on.
PS5, and then they knew gaming TV. So I was like, that's amazing. It's like a blessing for me to achieve this, because it was always a brand that I always wanted to work with, and it's very well known worldwide. So I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So yeah, we've been doing a lot of work with Sony ongoing, and then yeah, there's many other brands like fashion, watches, and everything. There's brands that I really work, cars, even car. I'm doing an ongoing partnership with like Aston Martin as well.
Ooh, okay.
So it's really, they're really cool. That classic British brand, cars, been doing quite a few different, like, exploring different cars from their collection and stuff, which is quite nice.
Mm.
Yeah, and then yeah, so many different partnerships with different brands. So it's been good. I don't think I have my favorite. If I think about, everyone asks me this question, what's your favorite ever campaign? I don't think it's like a favorite ever, because all the campaigns, they differ in different ways.
Yeah.
So there's something favorite about each and one of them I did in the past.
Hmm. Yeah. So you must get lots of free stuff as well. I know I get
Yeah,
the
you do get
occasional free
free
stuff.
stuff, but you know, when you get to a certain level, you need to know when to say no.
Yeah.
Because when you work with certain brands, which is, you know, the way the business works, it's when you reach a certain level and you work with like high top brands, you can't really go to a smaller brands because the biggest brands you work with, they kind of don't like that and it's clashing.
Uh-huh.
So you need to be very like, you know, selective, you know, and in a way that you don't piss the clients you work with already off and stuff like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So for people who are starting in this whole social media world, they see people like you, like, oh, Rowan, I love you. You know, they see you and they, you know, they want to follow you, just follow in your footsteps. They want to be like you. They style their hair like you. They tag you. They're using a hashtag,
Yeah.
everything, you
It's
know?
crazy, man. That's crazy.
So for those type of people, they're, you know, they're diehard fans and, you know, they're trying to be like you. Like, what would you say to those type of people that are really trying to see success in their life, like yourself? And let's say they don't have that much of a following in this day and age. What would you say would
I
work
think
for them?
I always talk from my experience, right? So from my experience, I always told them like anything you want to achieve in life, don't start because okay, yeah, you probably find yourself an idol. Like, you know, I had idols and I always look at the people up when I was younger. I was like, I want to be like that person. But then I always try to tell them, try to, you know, get ideas from your idols, but then follow exactly what you want to do. And don't, let's say, for example, if they want to become an influencer, don't start because you get freebies. Because a lot of people, there was like, oh, I want to start because I get free clothes or free, you know, devices or stuff like that. I think that's, you fail halfway through straight away. I always say like start because you want to inspire someone with something. That's why I started, and probably that's why I have the success. I had the success for social media because I wasn't craving the money. I was craving the, you know, to create as much content as I can so I can inspire the people from around the world to get ideas. Or like, for example, okay, cool, I'm going on a night out. I'm gonna go on Rowan's page to see what should I wear.
Yeah.
That's why
I've
that
done
was
that,
my
by the way.
aim. That was my aim. So that was what my aim when I started my whole, you know, fashion thing. My aim wasn't like, oh yeah, let me get as many free clothes as I can. Like that wasn't the aim. Like I aim much more higher than that, and just to, because once you create a product good enough, like anything out there, and people buy, if it's good enough, people will buy into it anyway. So that's my idea was like, I want to create that page good enough when any guy out there will be okay, cool. I'm wearing suits. I'm gonna go on Rowan's page. I'm wearing like, you know, street style denim. I'm going on Rowan's page. That was my aim from the beginning, and that's why I said to this audience when they asked me, "What's the steps you will give me to, you know, to be a successful Instagrammer or, you know, influencers?" I always say, anything you do, because a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, but I'm not as, you know, I don't have a good hair like you. I don't look as good as you, blah, blah." And I said, Instagram is not about being a model. An influencer is not a model. An influencer is like when you influence someone with something. So you can even create a food page if you love food. You don't need to show your face on Instagram. You can create anything you want. That's why I said the power of social media is there. I think it's amazing because we have, you know, this power in our hands, like internet and everything. A lot of people, sorry, I'm gonna go out a bit of the subject. You know, a lot of people when they say, "Oh, these days internet, everyone is on their phones." But yeah, because back in the days we didn't have internet. So I think it's amazing that we have this. You know, we make money for our phones. Back in the days, it wasn't like that. So yeah. The power of social media, I always say, like, you don't have to be the best looking model in the world to make, you know, to make an income or to create a product online that will inspire people. You can have also any sort of page. You can be an architect and put pictures now of indoor houses or stuff like that. So you can create anything you want. That's what people get wrong. Oh, I'm not going to start Instagram because I don't look like these people. I say, you don't have to look at these people. You have something else that those people, they don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
So,
What about the amazing locations that you have? Like, you know,
oh,
like sometimes I'm like, right, I've got some clothes. I've just recently launched some clothes, by the way. And
That's
I'm like,
amazing. Well done.
thank you. I'm like, damn, I need to find a location.
Yeah.
It's tough. I was like, I should speak to Rowan. Well, since we're here talking,
Yeah.
how do
Yeah.
you find all these amazing
Uh,
locations? Well, how
but
does it work, bro?
obviously, to be honest, you obviously for living in London and for doing this influencing for many years, I I had the ability and the capacity to move around London all the time. So now I kind of know exactly, okay, if I'm wearing this, what sort of location fits my outfit. So if I'm wearing something edgy, I'll go Shoreditch or Brick Lane. If I wear something more smart, I'll probably go in the City of London, Bank area or Kensington and then once I pick an area, I always move a little bit around because it's all about the light, where the light comes from and stuff like that. It's more into that than obviously to get a good shot than just location. And then, yeah, I just basically move around and trying to find different corners and spots that actually fits the look I'm wearing.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. And you've obviously improved your quality of images. So what was the first camera you mentioned? A Nikon.
It was a Nikon, but what I'm trying to say now with the quality of the image, I think it's good to have a great camera, but even if you have a beginner camera, you can still take some great shots if you have the right light and if you know how to set the camera on a manual. So you don't have to spend, $5 grand on a camera to take a good image. Because I know people who spend five grand on a camera and they still take shit images because they have no idea how to use that camera.
Right. Yeah.
But if you find someone who knows how to work with the camera, you can still take a good shot with a, 500 pounds camera.
What are you working with now, if you don't mind me asking?
Sony.
All right. Which
Sony,
one?
yeah.
They've
I
got
like
quite-
the mirrorless one, the A7 ones. So I'm using the A7 III because I was before Sony, I was with Canon and I had a really good Canon actually. It was a 5D Mark IV, great
I
camera.
remember that. I remember that.
But since all these companies they start releasing the mirrorless, now even Canon, even Nikon, obviously Sony started with I think first mirrorless cameras. They just perfect. They small and they do the job and they super quick, super fast, and the shutter speed and everything. I think they're really, really great camera for any content creator out there. This is not an ad, by the way. It's just, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a great and it's very simple to use as well. It's not very complicated, like a big DSLR.
Yeah.
And the quality is basically the same.
Okay, because I was going to ask you about that. You've obviously had a Canon, now you have Sony. Some people say that the Canon has a slightly softer look to it and Sony a bit harder. Like, what's your thoughts? Like, if you was to...
I think I prefer more the color-wise. I think the Sony colors are much better than the Canon. But at the same time, you won't see much difference. It's like buying a Ferrari and Lamborghini and see which one is better. They still both are good cars. Obviously, each one of them have different things, but it's the same with this, really good cameras. They're both good. Depends for what sort of photography you're using it.
Yeah. What about editing apps? What would you suggest is good to edit with?
Picture-wise, I always work with obviously Photoshop and Lightroom. Photoshop, when it comes to clean the image, Photoshop is great, and Lightroom, you play around with the presets, with the lighting and all that, which I think is phenomenal from that perspective. And then video-wise, obviously there's Premiere Pro and Final Cut. I work with Final Cut Pro, which I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Final Cut is great. But then when it comes to color grading, I use different programs. So yeah, because you can get more stuff from color grading from different programs. You connect it with the Final Cut and then you get more, and then easier as well to color grade.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's for the videos, the color grading.
That's for the videos. Yeah. So basically color grading is like, let's say for example, you have Final Cut, you have Photoshop, and color grading, you have, Lightroom. And then obviously for Final Cut, it's different programs that they're very similar, like Lightroom, but for videos.
Oh, right. So
Yeah.
what difference does that make for a person who might not do color grading and just use a
Uh,
raw video?
Sometimes you don't necessarily need to do a color grading if you're really, really good, videographer, and you set a certain light on your camera that is already color grade. For example, probably a year back, I met this guy who works with Fuji cameras, and
Right.
then his YouTube videos, they're really nice. And I said to him, what color grading you using? It's so perfect. And he said, no, this is how it's set up for my camera. And I'm like, what? That was my face. I was like, what? Well, yeah. So there's some people out there who knows their stuff. Yeah.
Right. Brilliant,
Obviously,
man.
I know a lot, but I know more the basics and stuff. But there's people who go more deep into it, and that's what that is their profession.
Mm,
So
mm.
it's good to talk to them to give you some ideas, and to get you learn from them different
But
skills.
it's so interesting to know because you put out some amazing content, people love it, and you might not necessarily be, I don't know, the greatest in color grading and all the settings and stuff, but you know what works. You know what
Yeah,
captures
that's
the.
why I said depends on what sort of content you're providing to your audience as well. Because if I do, let's say, I pull up a home workout on my YouTube, obviously it's good to look good and clear and stuff like that. But people, they not go into deep details. Oh yeah, it's like, for example, if someone works in, let's say, you look at a very experienced vlogger who travels around the world. Obviously, for them, it's more important color grading and stuff like that because it's
Right.
different clips, different images. But as a home workout, you just keep it basic.
Mm,
Keep
mm.
it basic. Otherwise, you waste so much time focusing on color grading, and you still get the same amount of views because the reason why people they follow that video because they're gonna work out with you. They're
Yeah.
gonna stay there. It's like, oh, let's see the color grading in this. Yeah, it's so true. Like, because
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm editing, obviously, and then probably happens to you as well. We complicate ourselves trying to bring this, which is good. We're learning, but then once you finish the video, I was like, well, you still get the same amount of views. Like if I would have kept it simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a team of people or do you do everything yourself?
I have a team, but it's not a very big team. I have a person working for me, which is she's a friend of mine. So she's basically my assistant, sort of PA. So what she does for me, she she deals with all the marketing and all the deals and everything that comes into my emails. So, because I used to be with different agencies before and I was losing so much work, and I was like, I just want to find a person that I can trust. Then I have the authority to see what's going on to my emails. And then that person works for me and then sort out all the emails. And then she's gonna ask me, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? With the agency, what happened? I don't have the access to my email, so I don't see what's going on in my email, and I hate that. I need to know what's going on. So that's why I kind of wanted more of a team than an agent, like someone who's close to me as a friend I can trust, and then they get paid their salary at the same time. So
Hmm.
yeah, I was lucky enough to find this friend of mine who she's very experienced in what she does. So yeah, we started. She was doing at the beginning a lot of emails to me for free. I was getting so much work. I was like, I need to pay you, man. Like you bring me so much work, and you're just being such a nice person. But
Yeah.
I feel bad. Like so, then we started. We had a serious talk, and then she started working to me on a professional level all the time, like full time.
That's amazing, man. That's cool.
So
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And like, what's a typical day for you? Like, as content creator, social media influencer, like looking
so
at
I
your life,
always
it looks amazing.
yeah, I always try to, wake up early and go to the gym and get it out of the way.
Hmm.
And first thing first, obviously, go to the gym, have my workout, and then come back home and carry on with the day. Obviously, every day is different. There's certain days where I'll be just indoors in my office because my office is in my house and working, editing, planning future content. And then there's another day will be a content day. So wake up, go to the gym, come back home, getting ready, and then I go out, take shots for my depends what sort of content I'm creating. If it's home workouts for YouTube, if it's vlogs, if it's just images for the Instagram. So yeah, I have days when it's just like full on content creation and days when it's just like admin, indoors, editing and stuff like that.
Mm.
And then of course there's days when we have, you know, jobs like events or stuff like that, going away with different brands. So it's those days as well, which is like more fun when you go away with more people and stuff like that. Obviously not much in a pandemic, but we're still waiting for these days to come.
Yeah, true, true. Look, Rowan, I think we're good, man. I
Yeah.
think I got everything. Yeah, yeah. That was amazing stuff.
No,
Uh,
great. Thank you. You have to let me know when it's out so I can share on my socials as well.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. So, as I said, you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, Twitter. Like, what is the sorry, what is the handle on all of them?
So most of the handle is just at Rowan Row.
Rowan
So
Row. Mhm.
Rowan Row, it's all of them pretty much, yeah. So if the audience they search there on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you know, YouTube, TikTok, it will be all Rowan Row.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, you definitely got to follow Rowan. I'll put all of his information in the show notes. Like, if you want any tips on clothes, hairstyles, locations, wow, incredible. His page is incredible.
Thank you
Rowan,
so much, brother.
thank you so much. I appreciate your time, brother. And we got to catch up, man. We got to catch up.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know when you next in central London. We should go to one of those, you know, restaurants because I have restaurants as well. So, you know, like we were talking about that before, like, oh, come over, and then you forget which one invited you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, we'll definitely keep me posted when you're next in central. It would be nice to grab some food, a coffee or something, and maybe have a workout like old days.
like the old
That would be
days,
really
brother.
nice. Yeah,
Would be. That would be, man.
yeah.
All right. For the meantime, man, you have a great day and we'll catch up real soon.
And you, brother, take care of yourself.
Okay. See you, man.